In just 8 minutes, dive into the most powerful moments from the Pivot's deep conversation with NFL star Dion Dawkins. From his struggles with survivor's remorse to his unfiltered take on the Buffalo Bills' Super Bowl hopes, this is a raw and honest look at football, family, and the mindset of a champion. Stay till the end. You won't want to miss this. Here are 10 key takeaways from the podcast. Takeaway 1. Survivor's remorse is real. Dion Dawkins speaks openly about how being successful in the NFL has created challenges in his personal life, especially with his family. While people expect that success should bring happiness, he explains that sometimes it brings guilt. He calls it survivor's remorse, the feeling of being the one who made it while others around him continue to struggle. He shares that his father was one of the people who pushed him to succeed, always encouraging him to chase his dreams. But now that Dion has reached the top, the relationship has become complicated. Instead of just celebrating his achievements, his father expects him to solve financial problems for everyone in the family. For example, Dion explains that his father never tells him, "I'm proud of you, son," or "You did it, great job." Instead, their conversations often revolve around what needs to be paid for or what family issues Dion is expected to fix. This has made him question whether success comes with freedom or if it just creates new responsibilities that feel like a burden. Now, let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 2. Learning from past mistakes. Dion reflects on his teenage years and how he almost got caught up in the wrong crowd. He admits that he tried selling small bags of marijuana and got involved in street fights, but he quickly realized that this wasn't the path for him. He shares a key moment that changed his mindset. He was selling weed to a classmate who was also an athlete, and suddenly thought to himself, "Wait, I'm on the football team, and he's on the basketball team. What am I doing?" That moment made him realize he needed to focus on his future and leave those bad choices behind. Dion also talks about how his cousin, who went down the wrong path and ended up in jail, warned him about the dangers of that lifestyle. His cousin showed him the scars from fights, the pain of getting shot, and the reality of dealing with the police. That was a wake-up call for Dion, making him understand that he had a choice to take a different route in life. Now, let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 3. College suspension was a wake-up call. While playing football at Temple University, Dion was involved in a fight that led to his suspension from the team. He describes this as one of the toughest moments of his life. He remembers waking up the morning after the fight and realizing that his coaches already knew what had happened. Soon, he was told that he had 2 options. He could wait for the police to come and arrest him at his apartment, or he could turn himself in. He chose to turn himself in, and during the drive to the police station, the reality hit him. For example, Dion recalls sitting in the car and asking his coach, "So what happens now? Do I still go to practice? Do I still have my scholarship?" The answer was heartbreaking. No. Everything stops. What hurt him the most was watching someone else take his reps at practice. He knew he was talented and had worked hard to earn his spot, but now someone else was standing in his place. That moment made him realize how quickly everything could be taken away, and he decided he would never allow himself to lose an opportunity like that again. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 4. Josh Allen is more than an MVP. Dion has nothing but respect for his quarterback, Josh Allen. He describes him as a hard worker, a team-first player, and a natural leader. But beyond football, Josh is also just a fun and goofy guy who loves to joke around. Dion shares how Josh would trade his MVP award in an instant if it meant winning a Super Bowl. While the MVP is a personal achievement, winning the Super Bowl is about the entire team. However, Dion insists that Josh shouldn't have to give up his MVP, saying, "No, man, you did that. You earned that. We as a team should have done better to help you win the Super Bowl." For example, he talks about how Josh is a prankster. He loves messing with his teammates, making jokes, and keeping the energy in the locker room fun and relaxed. Dion says that people only see Josh as an elite quarterback, but behind the scenes, he's just a down-to-earth guy who never tries to be something he's not. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 5. The Bills keep knocking on the door. Every year, the Buffalo Bills get close to the Super Bowl, but they haven't been able to win it yet. Dion says the team has the key to success, but for some reason, they just can't open the door. For example, he recalls their AFC Championship loss and says, "We were one game away, just like before. It sucked, but it was over. I hugged Chris Jones and told him, 'Go get another one,' and then moved on." However, after watching the Super Bowl, he couldn't help but think, "Man, we would have put on a better show." We're halfway through the video. Thank you for sticking with us this far. If you're enjoying it, please give us a thumbs up and share it in your WhatsApp groups. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to comment below. To see more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Now, let's continue with the video. Takeaway 6. Joe Brady changed the offense. When Joe Brady became the Bills' offensive coordinator, everything changed. He brought a fresh energy and made players feel comfortable, which helped them perform better. For example, Dion explains that Brady was different from old-school coaches who made players feel distant. Instead of using outdated football references, he connected with players by talking about things they related to. Dion laughs as he says, "He turned it from Dolly Parton to Rihanna." Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 7. Turning the switch on and off. Dion talks about how important it is for football players to be able to flip the switch between being aggressive on the field and being normal off the field. For example, he says some players struggle with this balance. They bring their football mindset into their personal lives and get into trouble. Others get caught up in the lifestyle, spending money on cars, jewelry, and partying, until they run out of money and have no choice but to change. Now, let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 8. The importance of second chances. Dion emphasizes that young athletes need to pick a college that will support them even if they make mistakes. He is grateful that his coach at Temple, Matt Rule, believed in him. For example, he says, "I could have been kicked out, but Coach Rule listened to me, believed me, and gave me another chance." That second chance allowed Dion to get back on track and continue his football career. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 9. Using his voice for the community, Dion has been very active in helping his community, especially after the tragic mass shooting in Buffalo. He realized that people don't just want words, they want to see real action. For example, instead of just making a statement, Dion helped organize food donations, transportation, and other resources to support the affected families. He says, "All they wanted was for us to stand with them, and we did." Now, let's move to the last takeaway. Takeaway 10. The difficult relationship with his father. Dion talks about how much he wants to fix his relationship with his father, but he feels like he is the only one trying. For example, he says, "I've given him the answers. All he has to do is pick up the phone and say, 'I'm sorry,' and 'I love you.' But if he won't do that, then it's deeper than pride." This realization has made him more focused on being a better father for his own kids, ensuring they never feel the way he does. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave a like below and share this video in your WhatsApp groups. You can also discuss about this video by commenting below. To get more such videos in your timeline, press the subscribe button below.